Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla. Today I'm on here to talk about traveling with a cat. So I decided to just do a video on this because I came back home to the East Coast to get my cat that my boyfriend and I have had for the last 8 years. And my parents have been watching her while we moved to Hawaii. And so I'm back to get her and attempt to travel with her on the plane to Hawaii, which is like 6 hours and then an hour layover in Seattle and then another 6 hours, maybe a little bit longer, to Hawaii. My cat is very sheltered. Well, maybe not so much anymore because my dad's kind of broken her out of her shell since she's been here. So she's been outside a little bit, but she's mostly an indoor cat. And she grew up in apartments in Boston, so she's never really traveled that much unless she was in the car going from one apartment to the next. And so it's gonna be really interesting to have her on the plane. I tried to get a few things to prepare for this flight, so I can show you some of the things that I've gathered to hopefully make this a little bit easier for the both of us, because I don't want her stressed out. But thankfully she's really good. Even when she's stressed out, she doesn't really make too much noise or do anything that's disruptive. But yeah, I'll have to videotape that as well once I get on the plane and see how things go. Anyways, so wish me luck, and I will attempt to help anyone out there who's trying to travel with their sheltered cat that's like mine. All right, let's do it. All right, so for some of the things that I got to help with this travel, I have these PetSafe litter box pee pads that you can use inside of the carrier. And this is just in case she ends up going to the bathroom while we're on flight, because they say that you can't take your pet out of the carrier the whole flight. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna try to take her out like in the bathroom or something to see if she can go to the bathroom there. So I heard another thing you can do is have extra pee pads available, so when you go into the bathroom, you can just lay one out on the ground, and then you can have some kitty litter that I'm gonna put in some Ziploc bags. So you can just sprinkle out on the pee pad and then have the cat know where to go to the bathroom. My cat is so not trained to just like go on cue, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna work out for me, but we'll see. And then in case of any emergency, I got these to hopefully like clean her up so she's not too gross. So inevitably I'm gonna have to take her out of her carrier. Other than that, I just got these calming tablets, soft chews. It's from Petco. Everything I got is from Petco, but this is GNC formula. It helps with calming and relaxation, and it has very natural ingredients in it, so it's like super subtle, but my cat is super relaxed generally all the time, so I don't think I need anything too intense for her. And lastly, this is her carrier that I got off of Amazon. I can put the link below. She's had this for the last year just for transportation purposes, but it's pretty cool. I know that they have restrictions about sizing for carriers on the airplane, but as is, it's pretty much standard. Yeah, so she's gonna be in here. So we're 2 days out, and this is my cat. She's a cutie. Hi. Can you be this good when we fly? You have no idea what's gonna happen, huh?
We are calling those guests with disabilities who need extra time or assistance.
Okay, so we got to the gate. It was very interesting. They gave me the option of taking my cat out of the bag during security, or I could do a private screening. So I decided to do a private screening because they bring you to a private room. I had to take her out of the bag so that they could run the bag through the security, and she was actually really good. She wanted to be in my arms, but then as soon as I went to put her back in the bag, she was like ready to go back in the bag. All was good, but I definitely recommend getting here earlier than you would expect. Gave myself about an hour to get through security and get to the gate. But yeah, so now we're on to getting on to the flight, and we'll see how the first leg of the flight goes. We're going to Seattle first. It'll be like a 6-hour flight from Boston. Almost back to the house. And then you can go pee. Welcome to your new home, Nyla. You're already getting comfy, aren't ya? Piece of cake. Hey everyone, so we have made it back to Hawaii. I flew my cat from Boston, Massachusetts over to Oahu, Hawaii, and it was quite the flight. Lila did very well. She was not squirming, she wasn't meowing, she was also not going to the bathroom or eating or drinking, which was kind of a problem, but she actually did very well, and I'm super proud of her, and she's a really good travel cat. So there's definitely a few things that I think helped with the process, and I wanted to just go over everything that I did and hopefully help any of you guys out there that want to travel with your in-cabin pet. So obviously you're going to need your carrier to be airplane friendly, so make sure whichever airline you're going with, you check their terms for their carry-on bag size. Inside here, oh, I also got her this cute little mouse with catnip in it, but I didn't put it in the carrier because I didn't want her to go crazy. And what you will need to do is put a pee pad liner inside of this just in case they do end up going to the bathroom, and it prevents anything from leaking, and you can just change that out when you bring them into the bathroom with you. So I brought her in the bathroom twice on the first flight. First flight was like 5.5 hours, and so I brought her in almost halfway through the first time, and then right before we were about to land the second time, and she was just like super curious about where we were, but she didn't have to do anything. Like, she didn't have to go to the bathroom or eat or drink water. I think she was just really concerned of where we were. So yeah, it was interesting because it's very small, and in my video you can kind of see what I was working with there. I had to put the pee pad on the floor, make sure the toilet seat's closed, and put her on top of the toilet seat. And you can use Ziploc bags to put in some food, and then another one for the kitty litter, so that when you put down the pee pad, you put the kitty litter on top so that they can know that that's where they're supposed to go to the bathroom. Although she didn't have to go, it was still interesting to try out. I would maybe recommend trying to get your cat accustomed to going on the pee pad before the flight, unless your pet can handle the length of the flight, then I guess it's okay. Another thing that I had, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, was the deodorizing wipes in case anything happened on the flight. You could use these to clean them up. I didn't have to use any of them. Let's see what else. Yeah, so the only thing was, I guess, plan to be at the airport a little bit earlier than expected, because if you don't want to have to take your cat out and hold them in the security line to go through the x-ray machine, then you'll have to get a private screening room, which takes some time. So just make sure you get there a little bit earlier. And even during COVID, the flights have totally booked up. Every flight I've been on has been full. And actually this last time through security was really busy, which was kind of unexpected. That's why I only gave myself an hour to get through. Thought it was gonna be empty like the other times I've been going through security. So yeah, things are booking back up. Life is slowly getting back to normal, and flying is becoming a little bit more annoying again, especially because they don't serve food or alcohol on the flights right now. So make sure to bring yourself snacks, bring your pet snacks. Don't bring booze on the plane because that's illegal. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. Oh, one other thing. I did give my cat the GNC calming tablets. They're like soft chew tablets for adult cats. They're allowed to have 2 tablets at once, and it's supposed to help them relax and not feel stressed out. So I kind of crushed that up and put that in her food a couple days before the flight just to see how she reacted to it. And then a little bit before we went to bed at night, before our flight the next day. So make sure also when you're feeding your pet before your flight, you feed them just enough time before you have to board the plane so that they have time to digest and everything and they're not uncomfortable on the flight. I had to do a layover as well because the flight was so long. It was 11 hours in total, and I had 1 hour for my layover, and that whole time I used up because the airport was so big. I had to take a train shuttle from my gate to the other gate, and then I had to get my pre-COVID check before entering Hawaii, so that was another additional time that I had to take. And so poor Lila was just in her carrier that whole time. I wasn't able to take her out, but once I got on the flight, I took her out one more time for that last flight to Hawaii and just let her stretch her legs. I knew she wasn't going to go to the bathroom or anything, but it's good to take them out at least once or twice on your flight so that they can kind of walk around in the bathroom and stretch out. If you want to pet your cat while they're under your seat, I say go for it, but definitely don't open the carrier all the way. I didn't do that because I feel like she would have tried to get out and climb onto my lap or something. So just make sure you keep the zipper slightly closed around your hand when you're going to pet them. Yeah, so I think that is all. And if you have questions about bringing your pet specifically to Hawaii, feel free to ask in the comments below, because there's a whole animal quarantine thing that you have to go through, and that is a process, and I don't want to take up all the time on this video talking about it. So if you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I hope this video helps you out in the future with your pet travels. Thank you, like and subscribe.